Alright, so we're going to install a single wall burrow into the Supra today. It's a little chilly out here, so I had to get a jacket on. Basically, this kit comes with everything you need. Make sure you buy it from a reputable source. There's a lot of Chinese copies on the market, and you definitely don't want your fuel pump to fail. So basically start by removing the carpet and everything. Remove the tie down, and then there's 6 10mm screws. Sorry, 10mm nuts. This access plate that gives you access to the top of the fuel tank. We'll need a pair of pliers to remove these return lines. We'll take loose the feed line, take loose the electrical connector. Okay. And then we'll need a flathead screwdriver and a hammer to tap the retaining ring off to pull the pump assembly out. A little bit of fuel in the line still. Kind of tuck this under here out of the way. Okay, that was a 17mm on the fuel pressure line. A little bit of fuel leaking out here. I haven't started the car in several days, so most of the pressure bled down as expected. So you have this bolt with the 2 crush washers on it. Make sure you don't lose those. Don't want any fuel leaks. Tuck that out of the way also. And then we'll take the flathead screwdriver, line it up on these tabs, and tap it a little bit at a time to get the cinder loose. I'm sorry, the assembly loose. Okay, if the retainer ring loose, and that'll allow, probably should set that on the styrofoam. That allows us to pull this assembly out. Huh, interesting. Okay, so we'll have to figure out how this attaches. Looks like it fell off of there. I hadn't really drove it much, so I hadn't noticed that the fuel gauge was causing any issues, but looks like it just snapped back on there. It didn't look damaged or anything, so we'll see. It's the first one I've ever taken out that the cinder had fallen off. So this has a wall burrow in it, GSS 342. Same as the pump I bought. Not sure the age of this pump though. It looks in pretty decent condition as far as any visual. So we're just gonna go ahead and swap it anyways, since I know that one's brand new, just for peace of mind. So we'll set this out on the ground and move the camera to get to a better view here. Alright, so we've got the pump assembly on the ground. Basically we're just going to loosen the hose, and that'll let us slide the pump out of the bottom. A little bit of fuel smell here from all the gas leaking out of the strainer filter here. Okay, unplug the electrical. Okay, then we'll take this little hose off. Make sure that clamp's not on it. Slide it on the new one. Slide the clamp back down. Plug the electrical back up. Make sure the little rubber bushings back on the bottom of there. Slide it back onto the tube. Make sure the clamp's still there. And then we'll pull it down as much as we can so the pump's not moving off of the hanger. Slip this clamp back in place. Easier said than done. These little spring clamps without the... Yeah, they make spring clamp pliers. I should probably buy some of those. Okay, position. Okay, double check the electrical. Double check this fuel cylinder. It seems to be good shape now. A little bit of excess wire, but not going to hurt anything. Okay, we'll take this cylinder, drop it back into the car now. Okay, back at the car. Yeah, try to not spill fuel on your paint. And then I want to make sure we don't knock the sending unit off this time. Feed that in. A pump sock. A little bit of a snug fit. Okay. And then orientation. Make sure that you have it clocked basically the same way as you took it off. It can be a little bit off. There's a little bit of forgiveness. All these lines are somewhat flexible, so put the retaining ring back on. We'll tighten it by hand as tight as we can get it, and then tap it back closed. Give it a couple more taps. It's not really moving anymore, so we're good there. electrical. Got the main fuel line. Remember, it's got the crush washers, so one goes underneath the fitting. What I like to do is leave the top one on the bolt, slide the bottom one on the bolt, hold it with your finger while you start the threads here. Keep it from falling off and getting damaged. Snug that down. Pliers to put the clamps back on. Okay. We'll go ahead and leave this apart. We'll turn on test for fuel pressure. Make sure we don't have any leaks going on back here. Okay, everything looks good, so we'll put the cover plate back on. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Normally, if your car did not already have a wheelbarrow installed in it, you would have this box of stuff. So it comes with a little bit of submersible fuel line that you would just trim the length. It comes with the little worm drive clamps, and then the little bit of wiring harness and 2 butt splices that just crimp on. So you'd cut off the factory fuel pump plug, crimp these to the new harness, and then follow basically all the other steps. Alright, so for the exhaust, we're going to reuse this, whatever it is, RSR catback that came on it. It's in good shape. We'll use it until we do the single swap and swap to a 4-inch stainless exhaust. This flange and gasket, not a big fan of the 2-bolt flanges just because they leak. So I'm going to cut it off, put a V-band on, and then I'll build a downpipe up to the factory twins. Yep, so replacing the 2-bolt flange with a V-band. One side of this will get welded to the catback, the other side will get welded to the downpipe. These provide a much better seal than the 2-bolt, and that gasket's seen better days. Alright, so whenever you're cutting, make sure you wear eye protection. I'm just going to take the chop saw, cut that flange off, and then get it ready to weld on the new V-band. My blade's a little worn, so it didn't make it all the way through, so we'll have to rotate it just a little bit. Cut the rest of the way through it. Cut it as close as we could. Save as much pipe as possible. This is just going to be tossed in the trash. And then the end of the pipe here just needs to be cleaned up where all the burrs are, and then we'll go ahead and weld on the V-band on that side. Alright, so under the car, basically we're going to build a downpipe That rusty 3-bolt flange is the turbo outlets, and the pipe's going to come through this hole next to the transmission, alongside the transmission and the recess in the body, and then across, and then it's going to mate up to the V-band that we welded on the cat bag. Used a floor jack to get this in the exact location height that we want it. Have the rest of the exhaust back there installed in the hangers. Oh, sorry about the lighting. Brighter outside than it is. There we go. So all the hangers installed. Alright, this is what we're going to build the downpipe out of. We've got a mild steel Aristo flange. We've got the stainless V-band. The other half the V-band we welded to the catback exhaust. Got a 180 bend. This is just mild steel, and then a bit of exhaust off of another project car. This was just in the storage, so we'll cut this up, weld it together, and this downpipe's only going to be temporary until we do the single swap, so the mild steel will do just fine. It'll have a little bit of surface rust, but it'll hold up. Alright, this is what we got so far. The bends coming off the turbo flange, and just have it tacked together, so we're going to go ahead and weld these out, put it back on the car, then finish the rest of the downpipe. Alright, so we've got this top section welded up, welded all the way around on every joint. We'll put it back in the car, and then we'll finish mocking up the back half of it. Alright, so I got aluminum radiator kit. Basically comes with the radiator, comes with a fan shroud that bolts to that, and then 2 electric fans that'll bolt to that. Also bought a relay kit, so it has a relay fuse, wiring instructions. Also comes with a thermostat switch, so this will screw into the bottom of the radiator and then turn the fans on and off according to temperature. Alright, so we got the radiator and electric fans installed. We have the relay tucked away underneath the side over here, right above the washer bottle. We have the harness wrapped in coroplast tape, routed that way. We have the other 2 wires loomed going in this way. There's a fuse, a 30 amp fuse underneath, and then it's spliced into the EFI power on wire. Alright, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check us out on Instagram. Also, BIYGarage.com. Pick you up a cool t-shirt and help support us. Thanks for watching.